Welcome to Blue Collar Billing, the program built by contractors for contractors to simplify the way you manage your business. Today we're going to talk about how to add materials onto a job to help build your estimates. So here we are from the main client screen. We've already gone over how to add contacts, add jobs into the system. So now let's do some work inside that job. Okay, so it brings you to your main job screen. As you see, we don't really have anything here yet. We just have our notes and the pertinent information, contact information, things of that nature. So now you want to start building your estimate and figuring out what you want to charge your clients. The best way to do that is to go right down to the bottom of the screen here under Job Estimates and click Materials. Okay, brings you right into the material screen. In our system, how we have it set up, you can see we've already preloaded a lot of material into our system with pricing. In one of our other videos, we went over how to add materials into the system. We'll also show you in this video how to manually add items that you don't use on an everyday basis. But for this, we'll use some of these items here just to show how easy it is to build a proposal. So let's start. We're going to say, let's do some drywall in a basement. So location's the basement. We'll deliver it flatbed and carry. Okay, and let's go put in some sheetrock. So we'll say 10 boards, some cement board, some mold resistant. Let's see. Gonna need some screws, some glue. Okay, and as you're building your system, you can see we have things broken out by different categories. Again, we went over this in another video, but you have your sheetrock, you have your supplies, you have some specialty items. This way, when you come into here, it's kind of organized in a way that makes sense for you to, again, make it as efficient as possible. Okay, so we think we have everything we need here now. So simply click Add Materials, and it brings you to your material screen. Lays everything out for you, the size, your unit cost, which is what you determine it is when you enter it into the system, square footage, the price, where it's going. In here you can put any kind of notes that you needed to put. Specifically in here, these notes would be visible to your employees working out in the field when you give them a job sheet. So we'll say walls and ceiling. Also, if you decided, oh, I made a mistake, it's not 10 boards, it's 12, you can change that in here. Hit save, and there you go. So let's say now, for the sake of experimentation, that we're going to have to use an item that we just don't use every day. So to get back to the entering the materials that you have saved in the system, you click that button. But if you want to enter something that you don't use every day, click Manual Entry, and just fill in the blanks. Blue tape. They cost us $1. We don't have to worry about any of this stuff if we don't want to, but we can. So we'll say we're going to put this in the basement. We're going to bring it ourselves. If you'd like, you can click this button, and this button will be, this material will be saved to your master list. So next time you go to enter save materials, this item will be here. For this argument, we'll say that we're not going to do that. Okay, and there we go. Blue tape has been added, our cost, our quantity, and now it's part of our list. So now if we scroll down to the bottom, we have our subtotal for cost, calculates the tax for us, and as of right now, this is how much the job's going to cost us. Okay, and then now you start to work down here. So next thing you want to do is figure out how much your labor is going to cost you. So let's say, let's get rid of that. Let's say that you think it's going to cost you 2 guys for 2 days to get this work done. Whatever you say your labor rate is to accomplish that, you'd put that in here. So we'll just put this in, hit save, and now this all updates. And now this is for material and labor. That's what our total cost is going to be to perform this job. Now, one of the great features of blue collar billing is we have built in here the ability to add your overhead on top of your job. A lot of people, when they're building their jobs, they don't necessarily think about it. They just think, okay, it's going to cost me this much material, this much in labor, So it's going to cost me $1,176. So if I bill $1,500, I'm making a little bit more than $300 profit. But that's not necessarily the case. You're making a little bit more than $300 in gross profit, but you're not accounting for your overhead. Things like the costs of your vehicles, your insurance, advertising, things like that. So one of the things that we have built into the system here that we'll go over in another video is we have an overhead calculator, which will help you determine really on top of your cost of goods sold, which is your material and labor, what your overhead is, so that you can properly build out your jobs and figure out what you really need to charge in order to make money on a job. So we have it built into here. We have different increments that you can choose from. For the sake of this, we'll say that our company overhead is 20%. And when we say that, that's 20% on top of what your cost of goods sold is. Your overhead based off your total sales might be a little different, but for the purpose of estimating, you're running your overhead based off of the cost of goods sold. And again, in a separate video, we'll go over this in more detail. But for now, let's add 20% overhead. Okay, so our break-even number is $1,412.04. So it's not a perfect science, but it gives you a rough idea. That's what you need to charge to do this job in order to break even. Anything above that, you'll make money. Anything below that, you're not really covering the actual cost of what it takes to perform this job. And then we also have the ability here, if you just want to add a percentage for your profit, you can choose from here a certain amount, or you can manually type a number in here as you wish. So for now, let's say we want to make 15% profit. Okay, so now we kind of have everything: our material, tax, labor, our overhead, what our profit's going to be. So if we bill this client this amount of money, that's pretty much how it should work out. And so there you go, you've built your entire job. Now when you go back to the main screen, one of the great features, when you scroll down to the bottom, it's right here, and this information will stay right here as you go through the process. So you'll be able to see as the job progresses, okay, this is what I estimated the job to be, where am I at with cost? Okay, and if we want to build that exact same amount, sometimes you build that and then you end up rounding it off to a more even number, or you decide you want to add a little bit more, come down a little bit. If you want to change, make it a specific number, you can go into Edit Job and enter that number right here. Okay. If you simply want to go with the amount from the material screen, just select Copy to Job Total. Yes, you're sure you want to do that. And there you go. Now it's priced the job for that amount. So that's how you build your estimates using the material screen. In other videos, we'll go over how to add items to the proposal for your customers to view. Also add line items for things that you do over and over again. But this is a quick overview of how to use the material screen. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to go to the Help tab, submit any questions, or contact us directly. Thank you.